What is happening, guys? My name is Austin with FTM Alerts, and it's my great pleasure to sit down with Weston Nelson today from the CryptoCave. Weston, how you doing, buddy?
I am doing great, Austin. I was just thinking we've got Austin and Weston here to chat. So,
You want me to call you? I call you Wes. You want to be Wes?
Well, it just rolls off the tongue nice, smooth and easy. So, doing great. Excited to talk about Fantom. Very timely updates for us to be chatting, I suppose you could say.
Oh man, you're not kidding. So, Andre went on a tweet storm again. Fantom's pushing $1 again, right? We're getting back up here, but we have got a massive day full of news to talk about. For anyone that's watching live, if you have questions, put them in the chat. Please, nobody draw any obscene pictures over there, and we will hopefully answer them live on the air for you. I think first thing
there's already a few in there.
There is a few in there. Do you want to just tackle a Fantom chart real quick for us, Weston? Do you have one pulled up?
Can you share the screen?
There she is.
Okay, yeah. So I was just pulling, like we were just talking about before. I pulled up the Fantom and Tether on Binance just to see what had occurred over the past 2 4-hour candles, and we obviously had some massive price action to the upside with on here the MACD. This is just like a buying pressure indicator crossing, which to me is very bullish for this to continue from a technical standpoint. But I'm more kind of fundamentals and technical when I do my analysis. So it looks really good to me is how I would interpret it.
Question for you. Yeah. So on the Bitcoin monthly chart, we just had a bearish MACD crossover, did we not? I actually haven't checked this myself, but one of the guys that I follow said we just closed.
The Bitcoin monthly
doesn't look like it, does it? All right. Well, see, one of the many times I'll be incorrect on these live streams. Okay. Ash Catch 999 says, have you heard of PaintSwap in the NFT marketplace? Not only have I heard of PaintSwap, I love the guys behind PaintSwap. Yeah. They're top notch. They've been very involved in the FTM Alerts Discord for a long time. I really love what they're putting together.
Right?
Brush, exactly. And that was one that, man, that thing went to like 1/10 of a penny, and I think it shot up to like it did some stupid move. I think it went like 6 or 10x or something like just the other day, because it's a pretty illiquid market. So tell me, Weston, what do you think is going to happen with the $1 psychological level that we're definitely going to hit some resistance at? I mean, do you think that's something where we just see a pullback down to all-time high, previous all-time high, which is some pretty strong support, and then rocket through? Or what are your thoughts on all this?
Well, first of all, I should probably start with the typical disclaimer. I'm one of the co-founders of a crypto trading community, so anything I say, obviously, do your own research always. It's not financial advice, just kind of my opinion. Use it as information to inform your trading to the best of your ability. But what do I see here is a lot of opportunity. Now, psychologically, we're right at all-time highs, crossing through $1. That might present some challenges, but I just think there's so much momentum right now that we may just blow right through it. And that's what I'm hoping to see. And then it'll just be, just off to the races. And that's just from a technical standpoint. Now with the NFTs coming, and Andre, if just every tweet that Andre sends out, I think gives us more momentum. So I don't know. What do you think? Similar or?
So, I mean, I honestly think we're going to get a little sticky around the dollar area, just having been in the community for a while and realizing what kind of a psychological level we have there. But honestly, I don't think it'll get too sticky. I think we'll come back, we'll solidify the support down at the previous all-time high, and hopefully we blow right past it. But so for anyone that doesn't know, why we're so damn bullish over here. Let me, if you don't mind, I got a couple things pulled up, so I'm gonna kick your screen off real quick.
Yeah. I was just gonna say the Coinbase wallet integration obviously is also massive fundamental news for Fantom.
Yes, so that is one. Let's see, I've got that pulled up right here. We'll go ahead and share that screen with you guys. And so right there. Okay. So yeah, Coinbase didn't make this announcement, but Fantom did. Now, I don't know if you guys recall, I mean, it was probably like a month ago, we started spotting Opera mainnet ability on Coinbase wallet. But for whatever reason, it wasn't something that got integrated into the Fantom ecosystem until literally last night, right? I was, Simone and the Fantoms made a post about how great Spirit and Spooky did by just getting it integrated super quickly. Now, you don't have to be like an oracle or a fortune teller to know how the community is going to receive this type of news, right? It's going to be taken in some direction, like maybe this is the week the magical listing happens, which, who the hell knows what's going to happen, man? But I think this is super bullish, and it opens the Fantom ecosystem up to, I mean, there's like 1 million people that use Coinbase wallet, and I think they just came out with a browser extension like MetaMask too, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct. Yes. And yeah, the Coinbase custody thing is something that before starting the CryptoCave, I was I led a different community, crypto trading, and that was one of the big, easy, not say easy, but strategies that I would use to share and say, hey, if it's on Coinbase custody, probably going to get a listing at some point. And this Fantom is just so much more unique and special that I feel very confident. You never know, but I have a good feeling, I guess, that should be coming.
I think it's worth pointing out also that, you'll notice that when bullish momentum is here, if you have notifications on for the Fantom Foundation, you're getting a tweet every hour with new stuff, right? And if we're hitting some bearish momentum, they don't waste their marketing budget on advertising during a bear market, because I mean, what inevitably happens is fear in the market, and people are going to dump when the token price rises. And part of me, sure, not all of me, but part of me feels like Coinbase has been ready to go for a while, and it may have been delayed for one reason or another. Now, that's just me spitballing. I have no information to back that up, but I know John Morris, who, he's head of U.S. operations for Fantom.
Well, I have an idea, but it just came in my head when you said that. But I guess I don't have anything factual either, but you just made me think of something. Could be they've been putting out a lot of news this week, and maybe it's tied to that.
Could be. I mean, you'll notice that when we have bullish momentum, you're not going to be getting a tweet every 2 hours from the Fantom Foundation. But when there's momentum, they take advantage of it. They have some really good marketing people behind it. Simone being the head of marketing, Mike Chen being the chief marketing officer. These two guys know what they're doing. They're really good. So, all right, Coinbase wallet, that's cool. We got
super
more, though.
Cool.
We got more. And actually, possibly one of the most bullish pieces of news from today is the Ethereum to Fantom NFT bridge, which has been built and possibly even already deployed by AnySwap. Now, this is a major development, guys. Y'all know how much effort they've been putting towards NFTs and trying to bring some of that share of the massive market over to Fantom. A big problem.
NFT mania in general, getting that to Fantom where the costs are going to be so significantly lower, it's going to be like a Cambrian explosion of NFTs on Fantom.
And you participated, or you at least tried to participate in Fantom Rocks, is that right, Wes? But you had something went down when you missed that 7-second window.
Sorry, I just about spit out my coffee. Quick story. It's kind of funny, it's kind of sad, but I was on a call with actually one of my two partners at CryptoCave. I think they were scheduled to drop at 11 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is where I am, a few days ago. And I was ready on the website, had my 500 Fantom ready to go. And I took a bite of nacho, or I made nachos, and I had one here. And then I went to click mint, and it didn't work. And I was like, oh, their site must be having issues or something. And I refreshed. And after 10 minutes, I was like, I'm going to miss this thing. And then I went to Twitter, and it was like, 7 seconds, we sold out, and so I was, for 10 minutes, basically just wasting my time trying to mint it was gone. They were gone. And then so 500 Fantom was the minting price. And then I went into the Discord to try to like get one, because these are cool looking rocks. And it was like 20,000, I think, was the first price that was quoted to me. And I was just like, maybe not.
How cool are they? Right?
Yeah. How bad do I want this rock? Really? I mean, I just wanted it, but not that bad. So, but it goes to show again that the hype and the just really the hotness of the market is in regards to NFTs. And when you get that on Fantom, where a transaction might cost you a fifth or $0.005, it's going to do magical things compared to Ethereum,
if even that, right? And honestly, you couldn't have a 7 second sellout on Ethereum because they have 15-second block times. So I think what's going on, because
seriously,
Arteon or Arshan, I think it's Arteon. I think that's how Simone told me it's. Is
it Arteon?
I think so. That one doesn't roll off the tongue as well as Arshan. It sounds like Martian.
I like Arshan. Well, is it Lachesis or Lachesis?
Lachesis, I believe.
Okay.
I could be wrong in that too, man. It's a weird word, but all right. So NFTs, I think what's going on with that and why there's such a gold rush is because some projects are establishing themselves as the OG only on Fantom native projects. And a good example of this is, so we've got actually 2 Fantom punks. We have the handmade Fantom punks, and then we have the FTM punks, right? Which are, there was 10,000, you can mint them for 100 Fantom. But what the guy did, unfortunately, is he created them as ERC20 tokens, which made them, you could send them, but they're not compatible with any form of marketplace. And so what he's doing is he's re-releasing a new NFT line for everyone that holds the ERC20 version of the Fantom punks. And he's going to airdrop them to you. Essentially, they're not going to be the same punk. They're going to be a new NFT. But long story short, if you bought some of the 100 Fantom punks, they're not gonna go to waste.
And he can do that on the Fantom Opera chain because it'll be same wallet and
address. These were actually minted on Fantom. Let me actually pull up the site. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So it is, what is it here? FTM punks.com.
Yeah, there's the punks and then the non-affiliated one, right? That's what you're referring to. I saw them talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the actual crypto punks over on Ethereum. It's the let's see here. Let's see what we got. Well, I don't even know. If I can't get it pulled up, I won't. Oh, here we go. All right, here's the site. So let me go ahead and I'll just share this with you guys real quick. So these were created. They were launched like one of the first things to launch on Fantom in the NFT space, right? If you know these, it's pretty simple. They were saying they were going to make a marketplace on top of it, and there was 10,000, and literally like they crept down so small until about 4 days ago when they released, the news that they're gonna airdrop everyone an ERC 721 for every punk you hold, and then they sold out like almost overnight. So that's
I tried to get one of those too.
I'll send you one, bro. I'll send you one after the stream, man. I'll just send me your address and I'll fire one over.
Okay, sweet, thanks. Yes, we will get to questions. Definitely, we're just kind of covering the. There's been a lot of news in the last 24 hours, I guess you could say.
Ton of news. All right, so if you don't mind, can we go in this direction real quick? I'm not sure if you guys can see what's on that screen, but so Hotbit. Yeah, this is one of my tweets. I get slap happy with the gifts, right? So I wonder if I can zoom in on that. Actually, let me see. Maybe that'll help a little. Maybe not. All right. So Hotbit added Spooky Swap, Spirit Swap, and CoinZoo to their exchange, which is pretty big news. Like the very first Fantom native token to launch on a centralized exchange was FBomb. My boy Dev, big shout out to the Millennium Club DAO, and so they just took it upon themselves to list Spooky Spirit and CoinZoo or ZooCoin. And from my perspective, that's, you know, an exchange getting out in front of what they see coming, you know? And
Oh
so
yeah, that's interesting. So that wasn't like a coordinated plan. You mean they just figured, hey, we should get these assets on the platform?
I'm making the assumption that CoinZoo, Spirit Swap, and Spooky Swap did not necessarily, they probably didn't pony up anything for that listing. That's my guess. I don't know that to be sure, but my gut tells me this was something Hotbit initiated and then they just threw them all out at the same time.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. I mean, and I would imagine that more central exchange listings are imminently soon to follow, especially for Spooky Swap, Spirit, which are kind of in my mind what would you call it? Just like the kind of the powerhouses right now on Fantom. You know.
Yep. I would completely agree with you on that. I mean, they're doing some big things, both teams, and both teams are like finding their niche within the Fantom ecosystem, which is really cool to see.
Yeah. Well, they're what I like to see is that it's just, you know, iterating very fast, and that's part of why we like, you know, like with our project, we like Fantom a lot too, because it seems like all the teams on there are continuously improving, which is so important in the information age, right? You got to keep getting better. So Spirit's like coming out with a improvement every time I log into the site, I feel like. So yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, those guys are on fire. And so with the you guys all know this more than likely, but you know, Fantom launched the $370 million developer grant fund, and essentially what that means is if you create a DApp on Fantom, when you hit 5 million in TVL, you receive 1 million Fantom vested over 12 months, right? And if you break 100 million in TVL, I believe the number is 12 million Fantom that you receive vested over 12 months. So the reason I wanted to say that was to say this: I do believe Curve was the very first ones to receive that 100 million mark, right? Because they're one of the highest TVLs on Fantom.
5 million or 12 million?
So 5 million. There's tiers. There's a 5 million TVL tier, 100 million TVL, and then a 200 million TVL they just talked about today. And it goes from, if you hit the 5 million, they're going to give you 1 million Fantom, right? So if you build a DApp that gets you 5 million in TVL, you're going to get basically 20 grand a month for a year, right? Essentially is what that looks like.
Yeah, vested over a year. Exactly. If it say the price is $1, yeah, exactly.
Yep. And was it 20 grand? No, 80 grand. Sorry, I undershot that by 75%. And then if you get up to 100 million, they're going to pop you out 12 million Fantom vested over, you know, so you're essentially going to get $1 million a month for 12 months. Now that's what Curve just got, and they poured them right back into rewards.
Well, you know, I was going to say not that the Curve treasury needs much more, you know, assets at this point, but that's why they probably continue to do so well, is because there you go. That's what they did with it. You know, great move. Probably going to compound and grow significantly more for them.
And it's going to be a huge move for TVL on Fantom. I mean, it just is, you know. Oh yeah, so Gregory Novak saying that there was some feedback coming. I'm not sure if you had another screen pulled up, Wes, but there was some there was some feedback coming through the line over here.
So, all right. Let's see. Yeah, let me know if it's better now. And I see that he was told Spirit Swap did not pay anything for the listing.
Yeah, that's what I think is the case for Spooky, Spirit, and for ZooCoin, personally.
Okay.
All right, so Nav K says, so will you guys take any questions? What question do you have, Nav? Drop it in there. We'll chat about it, man.
How about Scream?
Right. Oh, let's talk about Scream. You got Scream pulled up? Here.
I got Scream pulled up, yeah.
Let's talk about Scream, man. So they're sitting at what looks to be about a 90 million TVL right now. 231.25 minus 144.22. So anyone with a calculator, what's that, 85 million?
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, we can round, yes, right about there.
So for anyone that doesn't know, Scream is they're a fork of Cream Finance, who actually Cream ran into, I think, an exploit last night, if I'm not mistaken.
On one of the lending markets, Ample, I think it was Ampleforth.
Yep.
But they seem to have dealt with that pretty well.
So when there's that feedback again. Is that coming on your end?
It could be. I could audio.
Yeah, am I coming out of your speakers or?
Yeah, here. I could switch. Okay, here. Let me switch mics here.
Okay, no worries. So so let's discuss Scream for a minute. So Scream, Cream Finance was really the first lending platform to launch on Fantom, but they had run out of incentives by the time they got here. So back in May, I got hit up by we just call him Scream Dev, but who is one of the best. Like, this is a Fantom native project. They launched. They're giving you the same services that you would get with Cream, except you're getting incentives as well, right? On top of that, and the Scream token. What's up?
Yeah, borrow and lend incentives of the Scream token.
And not just that, the Scream token went bonkers, like bananas, over the last few days. I think it pulled a 4 or 5x versus Fantom. I'm not even talking about versus the US dollar. I'm talking about versus Fantom. It went ape bananas, man. So
yeah, right now we're at 103.63. I think it hit like 115, 130.
It got up there. Now, the cool thing about this project, these guys are like, they're Fantom native. They're just as dedicated to the Fantom ecosystem as Spirit Swap or Spooky Swap. Scream Dev reached out to me. He's putting something really cool together for Halloween. I'm not going to let you guys know what it is, but y'all are going to love it, and they deserve all the success that they're getting right now. So I think
would that be this?
I don't think you can click that, but I don't think you're going to see anything. I can't actually read what that says on my screen. Hang on.
It says events. The Monster Hunt has expired, but something may be brewing.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Let's try it.
Yeah, there's nothing there. So, well, the Monster Hunt was, so if you wanted to participate in the IDO or the seed sale for Scream, you had to get these things called pastel tickets. And essentially the way that they went about giving those out is you had to solve some problems, right? You had to solve these crazy riddles that they put together, and they're on your computer. And I couldn't. I ended up purchasing my pastel ticket, but a whole bunch of other people did. It was nuts. So I was able to participate in the seed sale because I had that ticket. So Scream is on fire, man. I'm super stoked about them. I really hope they hit that 100 mil TVL and are able to maintain it. So that they can take advantage of the Fantom Foundation.
Well, yeah. So speaking of the foundation, the incentives, which is brilliant, by the way. I don't know who came up with that.
Andre did.
Okay. Well, that I guess makes sense. Reward. Okay, because reward the developers who bring the users. It's just like, oh. Yeah, why haven't we thought of that before? Makes perfect sense to me. Whereas now other platforms are still doing incentive. Like Avalanche just launched with their thing, and this is way better. So, come to Fantom.
All right. So Trading Nichols, who I think he's your partner, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Him and Hawk Spirit Weaver.
So he's asking this question here. Do you know if they're maxed out due to popularity? I don't believe there is any type of maxing out that can occur necessarily. I could be completely wrong in that, but I mean, you deposit your collateral and you lend against it, or you borrow against it.
Yeah. maybe what do you mean max out due to popularity? Like as in I think so. I'm like I'm the DeFi degen on the team. Hawk is focused explicitly on technical analysis, and then Trading Nichols is kind of in the middle. I guess you could say. So that kind of stuff. So we were on here when they put FUSD as another asset, and I think what he's referring to is like I couldn't add more because they capped it at 2.5 million or something. I'm assuming that's what he's saying. But
maxed out on staking Scream. Interesting. Let me pull this back. I don't
staking.
Think...
No,
interesting.
You can.
There should be no max on that. I mean, that's
there should be no I don't think there is. But
so
yeah.
NavK is popping off some good questions over here, and
unlimited,
just
to
give him some love, man. I wanna hit a few of them. So, question: as FTM develops, what unique creative ideas can lead FTM in? I'm not really sure what you mean by that. An FTM bridge is huge. Okay, I think I get what you're saying. So, like, where can Fantom develop where the other networks are not? I'm assuming you mean, or what can put them out ahead of others? Honestly, here's what you should know.
Yeah.
Well, what you really should know about Fantom is, Andre being kind of the brain behind, the consensus protocol, and he works daily with the team. Even if you don't hear from him, right? He is in constant contact and working with the team. And I think you may notice, yeah, absolutely. He's so the Lachesis, I hope I'm saying that right. Lachesis, I'm not sure. That protocol was developed in conjunction with Andre. Like, that is his baby. So
yeah, it's incredible. That's what drew me to Fantom.
Right.
It really is. It solves the trilemma.
Yeah, no, you're right. And so there we go. There's Simone. Hey, Simone. Andre is a core team member. Okay, perfect. And so, like, what you'll notice happens basically the opposite of Justin Sun, right? Justin Sun will announce. He'll give us an announcement of an announcement of announcement, right? And Fantom will do none of that. In fact, they're going to be so tight-lipped, you're not going to get anything out of them. And all of a sudden, it's like, the Manhattan Project, where everything is just nuclear. Yeah, exactly, man. So that's kind of what's going down in my personal experience with it. But Simone is watching, so if I say anything wrong, man, just correct me.
Well, I was just going to bring up the CBDC article that. So it's like, there you go, another thing. And then the like you said, I've been calling it Arshan, but Artion, tomato, but
yeah.
that, and then just all these projects, and then centralized exchange listings, and Andre tweeting about it, support. It's just a lot of momentum at the right time.
Mm-hmm. And that kind of leads well into this next question that Nav had, which is about Retrieve. Now, Retrieve is their claim to fame is essentially an ethical payment solution that is built upon the Opera chain. And I've had some contact with those guys. We actually did an AMA with them on the FTM Alerts Discord. My deep dive into them kind of stopped because I talk about what I'm in. And for their public sale, anyone in the United States is obviously excluded from that. We know that that's pretty much what happens, right, for anyone in the U.S. So I've definitely chatted with the team, but unfortunately I wasn't really digging into the token itself because it wasn't something I could participate in until it launches on the open market. But my feeling is once it actually does launch, that would be a great guest to have on for an AMA. Retrieve is solid.
Yeah, especially if they're genuine in terms of what they're trying to accomplish, right? And have a good roadmap and plan to get there. Absolutely.
Yeah, they're a public team. They're very solid. I think they're located in Paris. I'm not positive. Vincent Kesha, who is one of the administrators of the FTM Alerts Discord, has met with them in person. So they're a very, very legitimate team. And another question Nav had. I'm just gonna keep firing your questions off here, buddy. Why do you think T-shares has not experienced the FTM price increase? All right, let's discuss. So let me just pull up Tomb Finance and let's chat about that real quick.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, they've had some appreciation recently, but
hang on one sec.
Let's see. What is T-share at? 1,016. So, well, okay, yeah, not the same, but
I do not. When I'm looking at it, man, I don't look at it in USD terms. Like, I never look at USD prices. I mean, I do look at them, but like, if I want to know if something's appreciating, I don't want to know that it's going up in dollars because Fantom's going up in dollars. I want to know if it's going up versus Fantom, right? Because that's, at the end of the day, that's what matters from my standpoint, anyhow. So
well, you are a full transition to the bit, looking at it in sats to I guess what's the word?
I don't even know what we call them. Fanties, maybe. Fanties are they're the full deal though. So, all right. So we've got the T-shares chart pulled up. 1018. Let me see. I got to get off of this chart. It's too much. All right. So you can see that we actually. So there was a peak here. It's not going to load. I think the peak was around 10,000. Some went wackadoodle here and set it up to like millions. I don't even know how that went down, but I think the peak, yeah, here we go. Okay, I got it. So it shot up to 10,764, steady decline, right? And so here's the deal about T-shares that you've got to know is that T-shares have inbuilt utility provided the Tomb token is above its peg price, which is pegged to the price of Fantom. So if we look at the price of Tomb right now, it's currently above peg. Yes, it's above peg, but it dipped below peg for I think 1 or 2 epochs. So what that means is that the utility that T-shares has is essentially put on pause while they distribute T-bonds and then repay those T-bonds as, that's the debt they have to repay from the subsequent expansions that the masonry goes through. If anyone's getting confused, there are a few videos I've done on Tomb Finance. You can check that out. My personal feeling on T-shares, what's that?
They have a nice. They put together a nice visual doc in their documentation I saw the other day, too. That kind of gives you just like an infographic.
Yes. And so the expansion is happening. The reason T-shares has inbuilt utility is because you can single-sided stake that in something they call the masonry. And every time an expansion happens, which happens every 6 hours on Tomb Finance, you share in a portion of that proportional to how many T-shares you have staked versus the total amount, right? So my personal feeling on T-shares is, well, let me say something else first. The Tomb Finance team are wizards. I cannot say it enough. Like I said it on yesterday's stream, I'm probably going to say it on tomorrow's. The Tomb Finance team have done things with their community and their project that I've never seen accomplished in such a strong way. Because when it comes to seniorage projects, community is that like unquantifiable wild card. You must have a strong community. And they're doing, poker night, NFT drops, just AMAs with
NFTs, right?
Yeah, they just did. I think Tomb Heads was what they just popped off.
Yes, exactly.
So I think a lot of it has to do with market momentum because this is a very low supply token. I think there's like 17 or 18,000 circulating. I would have to check. I'm probably wrong.
Of the T-shares?
T-shares, we have 16,373 circulating right now. Super low supply, right? So.
And it's capped at like 70,000, 60,000?
Yeah, it should emit for another, I would say 7 months or something like that, right? So when it comes to T-shares, I mean, for me personally, again, not financial advice, I'm almost always a buyer when T-share hits, some support levels, right? I mean, I bought the shit out of it around 1,000. Let me just tell you that. And I took it, LP'd it, plopped it into Reaper, right? And I'm just letting it ride because this is a token. As long as Tomb keeps doing what Tomb is doing, I feel like it's going to be a move. And that being said, there are inherent risks with the seniorage platform. So do not put any money into it until you understand exactly how it works. And you've got to watch the videos. You got to read the docs on it.
Yeah, a lot of tried and failed. But on other chains, I should say. But they just crossed 43 TVL million while we're talking.
Mm-hmm. And the Tomb token, I mean, so there's 16 million circulating, which is, that's only got a market cap of 16 million. We're talking about a $15 million market cap, that's very, very low. I mean, I've been in other seniorage platforms, specifically Midas Gold, which was over on BSC before we had any DeFi over here on Fantom. And, to be perfectly honest, man, their share token, which pretty much had very similar metrics to this one, went, I can't tell you where it went because it's going to sound like I'm being a pumper, but it went a lot higher than this currently is, right? I mean, that is the governance token essentially of the platform. So it's going to be in demand.
Yeah, that's the token that you're kind of like, saying, yeah, long term, I think this is the what you believe in essentially. To me at least.
Yeah.
The T-share, because that's your printer, your money printer.
Mm-hmm. Big shout out to my buddy Richard over here, RP Sly, giving me some love in the chat. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
I got some T-shirts at 800 yesterday too. KC Floor said that's nice.
Yeah, I think that may have been, again, it was either the best when I bought yesterday. It was either the best move I've probably made in a long time, or the worst, right? But I have a lot of confidence in this team, so I'm sleeping well at night. Jovelin, is that how I say your name? Alia says, how do you feel about Grim Finance Project and its future? So I chat with the Grim team, DD, Blue, all those guys, Aries, a few times a week at least. I chatted with them a few times yesterday with the Wind Spirit that they were opening. And I think they're a great team. I think they love Fantom. I think they've done a cool thing by finding their niche. Here, let me throw your screen up if you don't mind, so we can show them off. I think they've done a really cool thing with finding their niche on the underserved market, which is essentially like Bone Shiba, FTM Shiba. Well, those aren't underserved. Bomb, those are on the other ones as well. But like Buttcoin, for example, right? Buttcoin and there's a coin called shit, right? These are coins that they jumped right on, and they're finding a nice little niche in that. And I do think the team is great. I know that they have a close relationship with the guys at Spirit Swap. And Fantom Degen told me when they first launched, hey, these are good guys, give them some love. And if he tells me that, I'll listen.
Hey, look where they're at in TVL.
Yep, they're starting to catch on, and I think they have a definitely a bright future. Mm-hmm. Yep.
For the incentives, I mean.
Oh yeah, they're about to hit it. Well, so here's how that works. Simone told me yesterday, you've got to hit it and maintain it for 60 days, right? So it's not a slingshot spike above it and then come back down and you're going to get it. You got to hit the TVL, you got to maintain it for 60 days, and then you have to apply to the foundation who will approve you for the grant, essentially, or the incentives, right?
Without that's ever falling back under? Because that could be, what if there's a correction, though? I mean, they can't prevent that.
Right, and I think that's why they picked the 60-day time frame. And I don't know this to be true, but because it's vested out over 12 months, there could be some sort of wording in there that says if you do drop below, it's going to pause or something like that. But honestly, anyone that's any project that's tapping 5 million should be immediately gunning for 10 and 20 million, right? I mean, there should be,
Well, with the news and with what's happening right now, right? Yeah, exactly. Aim higher should be the message.
There's Simone. If it falls, rewards paused. Good stuff.
Oh, okay. So if it falls, rewards paused. Simple enough. Because I was gonna say, I think Reaper was like 30 million total. Is that right?
Yeah, let me pull them up. They might be at like 40 now. I mean, they're just crizzanking along here. 35 million. Not bad.
Yeah. So I mean, that's, and then Tomb 40. Okay, almost 44 now. This is happening while we're chatting. Just hit 43 now, 44. That's a lot of money. TVL moving into the Fantom ecosystem, and I think that's got to get where we're at overall. I wonder what the most accurate stats are. Would it be on DeFi Llama?
Probably DeFi Llama. That's the one that we generally use. And then there's also projects.fantom .network, which is also excellent. I'm going to put that link down in the sidebar. And I do want to mention, so this is one where we're really trying to get all the projects on Fantom to go into this site. And so the projects can add them themselves, but also the community can submit projects that they do not see in there. So if you have a favorite project that you don't see listed on projects.fantom.network, go ahead and submit the information and they'll take a look at it.
Projects.fantom.network.
Mm-hmm. So that's showing 888.
So yeah, that looks like a nice healthy growth trend of assets flowing into an ecosystem. 900 million, I would imagine $1 billion TVL should be on the horizon here. That's pretty big.
So are you checking out this block time over here? So all right, so it popped up to 8685. All right, so that's going to be, but then it's dropping down to 559 milliseconds. So like, you guys, I'm sure you guys know this, but as the network becomes more active, the block times decrease, right? Essentially is the way that works. And these block times are low. I wonder what the average is going to be today. I think yesterday it was 1.01, but I'm sure
that's milliseconds.
Milliseconds, yeah.
Yeah. And could you clarify, by the way, I was on a call with someone last night talking about that and trying to explain that. And it's, what is the technical term? Because I was trying to say, yes, as more things happen, it's like ironic. It's kind of a mind bender that it can increase, but it's like bloat is removed or something like that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Are you talking about just the fact that block times become faster as there's more transactions on the network? And I think that has to do. Correct me if I'm wrong, Simone. I think that has to do with just the way that a DAG is set up, right? I think I'm not positive about that though.
Structural. Well, you know what I mean. It seems not intuitive, but is really awesome. I guess is the point I was making, because it's like you'd think it'd be the opposite. But that's one of the beauties of Fantom. I remember when I read that, I had to read it 3 times because I'm like, that can't be right.
Casey Flores, what kind of gossip do you want? Drop it. What do you got, man? We'll talk about it. Well, hey, a little bit of gossip I want to jump into real quick. This isn't really gossip. This is a fact. Is Atari chain. It kind of gets a little bit gossipy though. And yeah, this is massive. So Atari has been launched on Ethereum for a long time. And so
someone shared this in our CryptoCave community this morning, talking about it.
Yeah. So these guys I guess they're setting up gaming on the blockchain. They're doing some other stuff, and Ethereum got quite oppressive. But so I remember a while back on the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in Dubai, or maybe in the world, as far as I know. And the Fantom logo and the Atari logo and some bank logo, I don't know which bank it was, were blasted up there in lights at the same time. And a video was shared by Harry. Yay. And so the conspiracies started, man, let me tell you. And Waka Finance dropped, and Waka's got the Pac-Man theme, and Atari is one of the tokens that they put on there. And Harry came out and said he likes the guys at Waka. So I'm like connecting, I'm like that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia gif where he's got the lines going everywhere, And so the conspiracy started.
Yeah.
And
of what, that they're going to get into that game too as well, or you just
no, that Atari would be moving over to Fantom Chain. Some conspiracies were thrown around that the guys behind Waka were Atari, which is not the case in my opinion. But so anyhow, that's pretty huge news right there.
Yeah, to me that doesn't feel like gossip. That feels like good probability. Personally, I guess, just my opinion, but
yep. So Greg says Spirit going to break 100 million TVL here soon, I believe. They just keep improving and improving. I can't keep up sometimes. So, I mean, you guys know I'm a huge Spirit bull. I just absolutely adore the team that's behind it. They're just genuinely great people. Because they're a public team, I've had the opportunity to speak to them a lot, do AMAs, do roundtables with Sid and Rob. And tomorrow I'm going to be recording an AMA with Heesh, who is like essentially the big brain DeFi guy behind a lot of what's going on at Spirit. And we're going to be digging into InSpirit and talking about WinSpirit and chatting about really what I want him to chat about. So WinSpirit launched last night. Let's talk about that. And that's essentially a wrapped form of InSpirit, right? And you can take your Spirit token, you can burn it. It's essentially burning it. And that happens on Grim Finance currently. And what they do is they send that to the InSpirit contract and it locks for 4 years and it's continually relocked every 4 years after that. So that is essentially taking that token off of the market. And you get a wrapped version of InSpirit called WinSpirit. And essentially you get the benefits of InSpirit, but in a transferable token is the way that works.
Okay, so like this sounds to me like a YV curve DAO.
100%. It's identical.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. And so a lot of people that like didn't understand that this had already been done very successfully by Yearn, Convex, I think, was doing some stuff, and so it's been done in the past, but some people were going, well, why didn't you tell me before I locked my stuff 4 years that this was going to be coming down the pike, you know? And technically it wasn't done by the Spirit Swap team. It's done by the auto compounders who want to make sure they're giving maximum yield to the people that are farming in that particular pool.
Oh, is that that's how it came about? Like kind of the back. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Because like I said, yeah, they are coming out with lots of developments. And I pulled up the TVL real time because someone just mentioned that they're just about to hit 76 million. So, yep. I mean, yeah, very, very well. We could, it was like 25 million and not too, like, I think 3 days ago or something.
Yeah.
So,
well, the price of Spirit went bananas also. I think it's sitting at like a quarter of a Fantom, but 2.5 weeks ago it was sitting at 0.06 of a Fantom, right? So very, very low. And so I want to actually address something real quick because there were two camps on the whole WinSpirit thing, and I want to just kind of give you my perspective from having talked to Heesh, seen it work in the marketplace and other places. That so the complaint was, and I understand this, I locked up my Spirit for, let's call it 4 years for the purpose of getting all this InSpirit, and now you're going to dilute my pool and my revenue by allowing people who don't have to lock up, essentially is what they were saying, right?
Yeah.
And
I understand.
What Spirit was gunning for, and this is really important. So obviously it was a farming token at first, very high emissions, and you can see that if you look at the chart, it went down. Now they're implementing utility. What WinSpirit does is it actually removes Spirit from the market in perpetuity, meaning it's gone, right? Once it's minted to WinSpirit, it's gone. So there will be some benefits from what Rob told me that will apply to InSpirit holders that won't necessarily apply to WinSpirit holders. I'm not 100% positive how that would even work. But look at it like this, guys. So what we're looking for is we're looking for the exchange volume and price appreciation to outpace the dilution of the InSpirit pool, meaning price goes up, exchange volume goes up, and that goes, you know, that's moving faster than more InSpirit is being created on the back end, right? And that's what we're really looking for. And it should happen that way. I think it'll happen that way because of the bullish momentum, and also because now we're taking Spirit off the market for good. This is decreasing the circulating supply, essentially, right? So
yeah,
there's a lot to this.
Well, because there's also buy pressure is part of this whole mechanism, I believe, too. Correct me if I'm wrong, but for people who have InSpirit, you know, they're going to be getting Spirit every week, right?
Yeah. So once every 7 days. So, you know, 0.05% of every trade is sent into a contract, right? 0.3% is the fee on Spirit Swap. 1/6 of that goes to a contract, which then in turn every 7 days buys Spirit on the open market from their own decks and distributes that to all the in Spirit holders proportional to how much in Spirit you hold versus the total, right? That's how that works. And so if people are looking at it from a token standpoint, like if there's more in Spirit, will I get the same amount of tokens? Maybe not, but dollar for dollar with the appreciation of the Spirit token combined with the increase in exchange volume, which means more fees, it means more buybacks and more Spirit to be distributed, we should see a dollar for dollar match or even possibly an increase, right? So that's
yeah, it seems to be a better tokenomic design, you know, because you've got two ends of this. You've got two things going on. You've got buying demand, right? That increases price if you've got reduced supply. You know, yeah, theoretically should work out very well. We'll see.
Yeah, so I also agree with Greg. I think, or Gregory, sorry. I agree that distribution, which happens tonight, I think in like 10 hours or something, is going to be bonkers because
the volume this week.
Exactly. The volume went nuts, dude. Absolutely nuts. So, Hawk Spirit, we were saying, was that Ethereum blew past 3,600? What's going on here?
Did it really?
That bodes very, oh my God, 37.48. Holy crap. Alt season, baby. We coming back.
Seriously, 37.48?
37.47 right now, yeah.
Wow. That it was not that price about an hour ago.
Yeah,
for sure.
And Boomer Bitcoin's not moving very much. So, you know, that I don't know what dominance is at right now. I would assume it's in the 40s, maybe even less. I haven't checked it in a while, but maybe. So that bodes well for an alt season.
Speaking of that, have you seen the new dashboard that was showing capital inflows to Fantom?
Yes. Let me pull that up. Where did I save that?
It was like Uni.
Yeah, hang on. I can grab it off of their Twitter real quick.
Okay, nice. Yeah, no, this is a really nice little UI. Did you say you built this or?
Me? Hell no, I didn't build that. The foundation built that. but I wanted to give them a shout out because we're really looking for people to add their favorite projects in there. You know, that's important. All right, let's see here.
Okay. You can just submit your project. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I see. Okay, so you'd have a governance area. Cool.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, I'm trying to find this link. I know that I bookmarked it, and I don't know where the hell I put it. So I want to find it for you guys real quick because this is really cool. It basically shows the inflow and the outflow of liquidity from Fantom, which is
and how it's been exploding. So that's what I was going to say. It'd be really nice to highlight if and if you can't find it, I saved it too because I was like, that's big. But I was going to say, so you've got these broken down by category. NFT right now, you know, this is probably going to be populated quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. I got it. I got it for you guys. All right, let me pop this up there. Let's see. All right. I actually haven't really dug into it because this morning was ape shit, so I didn't have any time. But all right, so Whales is what it is.
Story.
And it looks like, so if we go on, we are on Fantom. So the bridge trackers, so we've had 255 million in deposits and 77.2 million in withdrawals. I don't know what type of time frame. Oh, in 7 days.
Yeah.
All right, so let's play with
7 weeks looks beautiful.
Yeah, look at that, baby. Oh, that is something special right there. So in the last 30 days, we've had 331 million in deposits and 147 million in withdrawals. And it looks like AnySwap is getting the love there. I mean, everything's pretty much AnySwap, even multi-chain's AnySwap contracts. Wow, these are great. Hey, all right, so let me drop this link for you guys in the chat.
Dashboard.
Yeah, this is dope. You guys will like this. There's the link. for you guys, in case anyone wants to play with this. All right, we're getting to the top of the hour.
Oh, is Calvin in here? Oh, hey, Calvin, how you doing? I did not see that. I can't really see the comments as well, I think, as you can. But now I see. Okay, nice. He's one of our community members in the CryptoCave.
Cool. Welcome, Calvin. Glad to have you here, buddy. Yeah, well, you know, now that I was looking at that, I do see a question from Nav. Nav is going to be our official question guy. Beebus, what is Beebus cooking up? Well, ask him. I mean, he's dropped a few hints on his up only token that potentially will be coming out for Reaper, right? It only goes up. Andre would love that. He's up only right now. And
he's always up only though.
I personally think, well, maybe. I personally think that Reaper V2 is going to have a Yearn Finance type of strategic feel to it, but I don't know that to be true. And I couldn't honestly tell you what Beebus is cooking up. And even if I knew, I probably wouldn't share it until they were ready to share it anyhow. I wouldn't want to wreck that relationship. And I'll tell you that, so hopefully, I want to say next week, I'm still waiting on a video to get made for our intro, but we're going to be launching Fantom Unchained, which is going to be a weekly show. It's going to be kind of similar to what Weston and I are doing, but probably with worse language. And it's just going to be news from around Fantom, and we're just going to, talk about what's going on. Beebus will give us a developer perspective. $24, we'll crack jokes, and I'll just sit over here and drink my LaCroix, which is like what I do on live stream. So, they're cooking up good stuff, though. I can tell you that anything Reaper puts out is going to be a quality product, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was going to answer your question about the Reaper contracts. They're designed actually specifically like Yearn.
Yearn V1, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't know, Yearn V1, V2, but as far as like the pricing, or like how the tokens might look confusing when you're trying to like take a withdrawal or something.
Yeah.
It's like they're crypts, which are analogous to a vault. It's the same thing, and I think that's what maybe that was the question. I'm not sure.
No, but definitely. So they are the Yearn V1 contracts that I'm certain of, and what Wes is talking about is, you deposit and you get a receipt token, and that receipt token constantly increases in its value compared to the amount of LP that it's worth, essentially. And LaCroix, you're off the Christmas list. Yeah, I don't drink, Hawk. If I drink bourbon, I end up dancing on tables, which, I'm a big guy. You don't want that happening, man. It's no good for me. So, all right, we're getting to the top of the hour. Anything you want to jump on before we close this puppy out?
No, I pulled up the docs.reaper.farm. If you do want to read that, I found it here as far as like just kind of explaining, if you're confused as to what that is and what I mean by that. Check that out. But yeah, no, I'm super excited for Fantom. I think, like I said, I feel like you and I could get on here and talk about Fantom for like 5 hours. Just keep going. But what I would like to share actually is on Twitter, we're building a new community. The three of us as partners, we built a community up to several thousand people before starting CryptoCave, because we just felt like there was some community is so important in crypto, and tokenized communities and DAOs. There's really not really there's really actually not a clear winner for that. And we're looking for a place to launch, and we did a poll. I'm trying to find it here, CryptoCave, and it said Polygon or Fantom, and the response was like absolutely bonkers. 2,000 comments. So maybe Trading Nickels will go through that one. and tally it up.
That's a lot of damn comments, dude. Well, that's something that I think people are doing on Twitter right now is they're like putting up these polls, and from like I was retweeting them at first because I thought, maybe they're going to mean something to the network. Now I won't even touch them because they just look like attention grabbers or like engagement grabbers. You know what I mean? Yours, obviously, you were asking where are we going to deploy on, but some of these are like, what's the better chain? I don't go near them anymore, man. And
well, yeah, no, like it's just like, why would you deploy on Ethereum? I still see people doing that, and it's like if you really care about your users, which we're a community trying to teach crypto and DeFi, let's save you some money and not, so yeah, Polygon Fantom kind of were the finalists, and it's like, well, what would you like to see? And it was kind of split, but I feel that Fantom would probably be the best, but we can do both.
We'll win you over. I just want you to know that eventually, we'll win you over.
I mean, I'm probably won over, but it's also more so the concern is it harder to onboard? So say we have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people who are trying to get into DeFi, and they've got two chains now to pick from. Is that going to confuse things?
Only if you don't say 2 chains. I'm sorry, I couldn't help doing that in the background there, man. I'm a child. I'm a 12-year-old child. That's what I've got going up in my head, man. Is just 12-year-old child shit.
Well, I was going to say, well, a side chain, right? But so not really in L1, but you know what I mean. It's just like, well, do I go to Polygon? Do I go to Fantom? Does that confuse you? I mean, maybe not. But we just want to make it as easy as possible for people to learn DeFi. And I think we were talking about this the other day. It's just like what Fantom enables is so incredible for the world over at large. And that's what gets me excited. That's what we're trying to do. And yeah, it's just bright future ahead for DeFi and Fantom specifically.
Yeah, man. Cool. Well, hey, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I love that Simone was so kind to troll us in the comments over here, just letting us know what's going on. Maybe he'll get on the next one with us. But all right, so I'm going to wrap this up, man, mainly because I'm starving and I hate to be so selfish, but I got to get some food.
Anything you want to close up with or share final thoughts on in regards to? I know that you're excited about a bunch of things right now. Anything in particular?
I am fired up. My biggest suggestion is always, if you're new to Fantom, immerse yourself within the community. The amount of information that is shared freely is worth a lot. And please come join us at the FTM Alerts Discord, discord.gg/FTM Alerts. Weston, what's your Twitter, buddy? Share that.
Just at Weston Nelson.
Okay, easy enough, man. So
we're going to CryptoCave. Yeah,
we've got a beautiful community on Fantom that I'm told is like none other that you're going to find in the crypto space. So I hope you guys will join us if you haven't. I appreciate that, man. So, all right, I'm cutting us off here. I'm starving. My name's Austin with FTM Alerts. Thank you guys for tuning in. Weston, it has been a hell of a good time with you, man. And,
great chatting.
Catch you guys on the next live stream. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, later. Bye.